Broadcasting live from Houston, from the space city to the world. You are watching Now Media Television.
Broadcasting from Now Media Network's headquarters in Houston, this is Be Productive, hosted by business strategist and productivity expert Clara Capano. Join us to discuss the most critical issues affecting our businesses with a fresh, practical, and objective discussion on the first bilingual media network in the United States. Be Productive starts right now.
Hi, and welcome to today's episode of Be Productive. I am your host, Clara Capano, and this is the show where we talk about key strategies with experts to help you level up and stop being busy and make sure you get productive. As a business strategist and productivity expert, one of my very favorite things to talk about is time. You know, time is the great equalizer, and we are all given the same amount of time, 168 hours a week. So the one thing that is the deciding factor between are we going to just be an overachiever or a superachiever is how we learn to not manage, but leverage our time. We are following the Clarity Success Method, where we talk about clarity of vision, leveraging our time, taking the right action, making sure we're carving out time for rest and reflection, also learning how to articulate our value, track and measure for success, and celebrate along the way. Today, we are on L, all about leveraging time. And we are going to be bringing on some key experts who, along with me, are going to provide you with strategies that are going to allow you to start understanding. It's not about the hours you have. It's all about how you leverage and invest those hours. So stay tuned. You're not going to miss this one. We'll be right back as we talk about leveraging our time.
You are loved. You are valued. You are resilient. You got this.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides at aarp.org/caregiving.
There's so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
You know, it took 20 years and I got my third child who was 17 at the time.
It's so cool to watch the adult that you've become, and you really have done as much for us as you think we've done for you.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Hey, Lily says AT&T's giving everyone their best deals.
Minus the air quotes.
Best deals.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Told you, the best deals are for everyone here, with a choice of plans.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
At AT&T, we give everyone our best deals on every smartphone.
Are you a business owner feeling overwhelmed or burnt out with no energy left for what's most important to you? In order to effectively run your business and maximize your profits, you have got to be the best possible you that you can be. Now is the time to reclaim your energy, master your schedule, and maximize your profits so you can effectively run your business rather than it running you. It's time to become the CEO of your business and life. I'm Jen Godet, a business strategist and life coach. I work with overwhelmed business owners who feel stuck in a rut and depleted. I teach you how to stop doing the things that aren't making you money and start prioritizing the things that bring you energy, joy, and lasting impact. I'm a human performance specialist and an international best-selling author. I've helped countless people all over the world to learn the art of saying no, overcome their fear, and maximize their performance. Let's get you to live your best possible reality. Start today and become the CEO of your business and your life.
My name is Andrew Glisson. Over the past 4 years, I've built a portfolio of over 200 single-family rental properties that generate over $200,000 a month in income. I've put together a 6-step formula to help you consistently acquire rental properties that cash flow $250,000 or more a month and have $30,000 or more of equity built into them. This includes starting right, becoming bankable, buying right, renovating right, exit strategies, property management, and many more modules. Best of all, if you're not totally blown away by the content, we offer a 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. If you're ready to build generational wealth for you and your family, look me up at sfruniversity.com.
Welcome back to Be Productive. I am your guide and host, Clara Capano, and we are continuing our conversation around time. You know, time is the great equalizer. It is the one thing that we all have the same amount of, and it's in how we use it and how we invest it that really makes the difference in our ability to be productive. So to help me continue this conversation, I am bringing in Pam Cass, who is a master coach with Ninja Selling. Pam, welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you very much. Excited to be here.
Yes. So time. I love talking about time because I think so many of us have this mindset that there isn't enough time. And quite frankly, we have a lot of time. And most of us, I think, fall behind because we're not leveraging our time and investing our time. So talk to me a little bit about, you know, what you notice on the importance of time and how we use it as far as its correlation to us not being busy, but staying productive.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, what's funny is when I think about time, I don't think as much about managing time because time is fleeting. We can't really manage time, but what we can manage is our energy and what we're putting our energy into. And we have to know, we have to have a clear vision. We have to have clear goals. We have to have clear priorities so that we know where we should be investing our time. And when we're investing our time in the right things, we will have plenty of time. If we invest our energy in the right places, we will have plenty of time for all the things that we want to do in our lives. And so part of that is knowing what your priorities are and scheduling your priorities first, and then filling in the other stuff around it. And that's a big one. And you and I are both coaches. And it's kind of one of those things where every time I get on a call, I'm really having a hard time with this time management thing. And it's like, You and everyone. And so, yeah, so it's definitely a big problem.
Yeah, I want to talk about this priority thing because it's easy to say, but everything can seem like a priority. And especially when we're working with our clients, we may know it's not a priority, but to our clients, it is. So how do you maneuver through, is this really a priority? If it is, how do we adjust our schedule? If it's not, how do we get out of it? How do you encourage people to work with understanding what is and isn't a priority?
Yeah. Well, the first thing I do is their self-care and family, those have to be the priorities. So to me, those are the priorities. Schedule that stuff first. Schedule the time on yourself, whether it's exercise, whether it's meditation, whether it's self-care. Those should be first. Time with your family. All of those things should be absolutely on your schedule. And I'm in real estate. So for me, I'm like, book it like it's a listing appointment and treat it like that. Like you would not show up for a listing appointment. So treat that appointment, taking care of yourself and others first. And then knowing what actually truly are the other priorities, it's the things that will give you the biggest return on your investment in time. So I always am asking people, do an audit of your day. Look at all of the things you did during the day and what was that for? Was it for yourself? Was it for your business? Was it for somebody else? And ask yourself the question, is it something I can do or is it something that somebody else could do for you? And I learned from you, and I know you've probably talked about it, is asking those questions, what am I saying no to if I say yes to this thing that I'm putting now on my schedule? And so that's kind of the priority thing is, to me, first and foremost, it's always the personal stuff. It's the big rocks, the things that you can't ever get back. You can't get your health back if you don't take care of yourself. Can't get that time back with your kids and your family if you don't schedule that time. And then the other stuff, is it something I can do or is it something somebody else could do? And then what am I saying no to? And is it driving my goals? And whether this is real estate or whatever it is this activity truly driving my goal? And so that's kind of what I'm talking about with priorities.
Love that. Some great questions that you brought up in there. I want to talk about a little bit about the idea of setting expectations, because so many times what I hear from clients are, it's the interruptions that come in. And I ask them, well, did you let people know you were unavailable at that time? Yeah. How do you encourage people, and what do you think is the power of setting clear expectations around your time ahead of time and setting these, out so people really understand?
Yeah, that's so funny. So my coach told me once, he goes, you deserve what you allow. And I'm like, wow, that's really mean. But then I started thinking about it. I'm like, oh my gosh, you are so right. In our industry, in the real estate industry, it's very easy to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, unless we set those expectations with the clients. And so for me, I went through a divorce in the middle of my real estate career. So I was working school hours and I took every other weekend off. I was very clear with my clients. I work until this time every day. My phone is off. If it's an emergency, you can reach this person and they'll be able to help you. I don't work on these weekends. So if we don't set the boundaries, we're telling people that that's how they can treat us. And so we have to be the people that are in control of our schedule and not let everybody else be in control of it, including those distractions. So one of the things that I've done for years is my phone goes on do not disturb at the same time every night. It's automatic and it doesn't come on until 2 hours after I'm up, so that my morning routine is not interrupted by text message or emails or any of that type of stuff. So it allows me to be in control of my morning so that I can win my morning, so that I can then be present during the rest of the day when I'm actually working.
And I can already hear the gasps from the audience that is watching this. I can't do that. That's not going to work for me. My clients are going to be upset. I'm going to lose business. So talk to me about that.
Yeah, that's a funny thing that I used to think. Like I would make up excuses like, oh, I can't show properties because I've got an out-of-town client. Well, that was baloney. I had my kids after school, so I didn't have any childcare. Once I got to that place where I'm like, you know what? I only want to work with people that are going to respect me and my family and how I run my business. And if they can't accept that, then I probably don't want to work with these clients. Out of all of my years in real estate, I've had one client that was not okay with that. And I was absolutely perfectly fine having them walk out of my life. Everybody else is like, oh my gosh, absolutely. I so respect that. We'll call you in the morning. So you've got to have that mindset of abundance and not scarcity when we make those decisions like, oh my gosh, I have to be on call 24/7, then it's a place of scarcity that we're going to lose something if we don't answer it. But again, you deserve what you allow. So we have to be in control.
Yeah. And this brings me back to one of the things that you made a comment on, and I don't know if everybody picked up on it. You let them know this is when I'm available, and if I'm not available, this is who you can relate to. So I think another, really good productivity tool is get a buddy. Yes. It doesn't have to be a formalized team or something, but get a buddy and work with each other so that when you're on vacation or you need to go to a doctor appointment or whatever, there is someone on call. Because the one thing that I've learned is our clients actually do want us to take time off. Our clients like us, and they want us to be fresh and awake and alive. They just also want to be taken care of. So I think, again, it's making sure you've got a plan for the unexpected before it happens.
Yeah. And one of the things too, and I think it's really important, if you are going to be out of touch for a period of time, make sure that that's a notification, whether it's on your voicemail or in your email, because if a client tries to call you and there's just a plain old voicemail and they have no idea when you're going to call them back, if they had a small issue they wanted to take care of and they didn't know when they were going to hear back from you, it can make that issue big. So if they call you and say, you know what, I'm in a meeting between this time and this time, I'm going to return calls between this time and this time, they know that I've set that expectation for them that this is when I'll get back to them. And then they're like, okay, well, Pam will call me back between this time. So that's perfect. So then it takes that big issue and makes it a smaller issue. So setting those expectations, there's got to be planning. There's got to be planning for everything. Who's going to cover for me? What is this message going to sound like? So yeah, it's that planning that we do for our weeks.
Love it. So let's talk some strategies. If you're sitting down with one of your clients right now, what are maybe 3 of your favorite strategies to help people do a better job of leveraging and controlling their time?
So every one of my clients does a meeting with themselves. Usually on Sunday is what the kind of common day is. And so the idea with that is looking at their schedule from last week, how they did, were they in alignment with kind of their core values and what they're wanting to do in their life? Did they spend time with their family? Did they take care of themselves? And then they look at their upcoming week and they get everything planned in their upcoming week. I always tell people build in time for those calls with clients so that you're not getting interrupted when you're trying to get projects done. The other thing I walk people through is a strategy of if you've got projects that need to happen, typically what happens is our brain looks at this big project and we kind of get paralyzed. Then we don't ever start it because we don't know what to do. So we take it down to a small action item. So I always ask them, well, what's the result you want from this project? And then let's come up with some different strategies for doing that. And let's just pick one of those strategies. And then from there, let's come up with very small action items, meaning really small. So if it's, I want to start doing real estate reviews, great. Let's come up with a list of who are you going to do real estate reviews first? That's all I want you to do. That's it. That's your task. And then we check it off. When we can check stuff off of those lists, it makes us feel like we've accomplished something. It gives us that small win, which allows us to then tomorrow, I'm going to do X. So that's typically what I do is I kind of help them work through, let's plan the schedule first. Let's look at some of those big priorities, those big projects that we want to get done, and let's take it down to tiny little steps. And then let's focus on just accomplishing those so you feel like you've won and that you're moving forward. You've got that momentum.
Yeah. And what I love about that too is, again, looking at the task as a whole can be so daunting.
Yeah.
But when you break it down, so many of those steps are only a few minutes long.
Yep.
And then you can say, okay, based upon my schedule today, I can do these 3 steps or something to that. And again, like you said, it's just much more manageable. It's sort of that adage of how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I love it. Well, Pam, you have brought us, so many ideas here. I love the idea of asking the questions. I love how you talk about setting out the expectations and talking about that, we deserve what we allow. So again, really starting to think about Is this what we want to allow? And one of my favorite sayings is, whoever controls your time will control your life.
Yes.
And, looking at those. And then again, the strategy of planning your week before it starts and then also breaking it down.
Yeah.
So Pam, I know there's going to be some people out there that may want your help. So where is the best place that people can reach out and find you?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can go to ninjaselling.com. You can find me. I'm one of the Ninja coaches. I also teach some classes for Ninja as well. Also have a podcast called Reignite Resilience. You can go to our Facebook page, Reignite Resilience. So yeah, so you can find me there, and I'm always reachable. So reach out and I'd be happy to help.
Fantastic. Well, we covered some amazing things with time. Remember, time is our great equalizer. So we're going to continue the conversation. So stay tuned. We'll be right back for more Be Productive.
My name is Andrew Glisson. Over the past 4 years, I've built a portfolio of over 200 single-family rental properties that generate over $200,000 a month in income. I've put together a 6-step formula to help you consistently acquire rental properties that cash flow $250,000 or more a month and have $30,000 or more of equity built into them. This includes starting right, becoming bankable, buying right, renovating right, exit strategies, property management, and many more modules. Best of all, if you're not totally blown away by the content, we offer a 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. If you're ready to build generational wealth for you and your family, look me up at sfruniversity.com.
Hey, Lily says AT&T is giving everyone their best deals.
Minus the air quotes.
Best deals.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Told you, the best deals are for everyone here, with a choice of plans.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
At AT&T, we give everyone our best deals on every smartphone.
Are you a business owner feeling overwhelmed or burnt out with no energy left for what's most important to you? In order to effectively run your business and maximize your profits, you have got to be the best possible you that you can be. Now is the time to reclaim your energy, master your schedule, and maximize your profits so you can effectively run your business rather than it running you. It's time to become the CEO of your business and life. I'm Jen Godet, a business strategist and life coach. I work with overwhelmed business owners who feel stuck in a rut and depleted. I teach you how to stop doing the things that aren't making you money and start prioritizing the things that bring you energy, joy, and lasting impact. I'm a human performance specialist and an international best-selling author. I've helped countless people all over the world to learn the art of saying no, overcome their fear, and maximize their performance. Let's get you to live your best possible reality. Start today and become the CEO of your business and your life.
Taking a trip in the next 12 months? Airlines are under tremendous pressure and they're practically giving away their unsold seats. Like every crisis, this one will end too. But right now is the best time to take advantage of giveaway ticket prices on their unsold seats. We're not allowed to publish these low fares online. The only way to get these rock bottom giveaway prices is to call. So phone low-cost airlines now for airline ticket prices you may never see again.
Hey, are you a small business owner that's struggling to double or triple your revenue and profits? My name is Michael Rager. I'm your business guide with Teach Your Business to Fish. Our success operating system will help you double or triple your profits every 2 to 3 years while actually maintaining some semblance of a home life. Call us at 713-201-5559 and we'll help you become a real success.
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. By wearing a small device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of pricking your fingers right away. If you use insulin daily, you might be eligible to get your own continuous glucose monitor. So call the US Med Diabetic Health Hotline today and learn about the latest CGM technology. Not only can a CGM immediately reduce pain, it's accurate, easy to use, and helps you make better diabetes treatment decisions. And if you have Medicare or private insurance, you can see if you qualify for a CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost. We'll also provide free shipping of your new CGM, and we'll bill your insurance company for you. If you use insulin daily, you might be eligible to get your own continuous glucose monitor. So call the US Med Diabetic Health Hotline to see if you qualify for a CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Welcome back to Be Productive. I am your host, Clara Capano, and today we are diving into the Clarity Success Method, focusing on the components of time and looking at how we can leverage our time and open up more time in our days so that we can stay productive and stay purposeful. I am so excited to have Jen Potter here with us today. So Jen, welcome to the stage.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
Yes. Well, when I was going through this and I was looking at who I wanted to have on, I knew you had to be here because you are a busy lady. And when we talk about staying productive and we talk about time, you are like the poster child for this, because not only do you have a family with multiple children, you run several different businesses. So talk to me a little bit about your relationship with time and, you know, how you work on making time for it all.
You know, that's really a great thing. And I love talking about it because if you would have asked me 5 years ago if I would have time to do all the things that I'm doing now, I'd probably laugh in your face and feel like absolutely not. And it was a moment where I was starting my second business. I was having my third child and I was in a complete meltdown mode and I didn't know how to balance all of the things, right? And I talked to a good friend who, you know, like an artist, and she suggested, you know, instead of worrying about all of the different things, to set a timer and just work for 5 minutes on one thing. And for a person like me who has ADHD, I had a really hard time trying to really pick up on that. And it wasn't until I did it and I realized how productive I could be in 5 minutes, it was like this light bulb that went off. And so I started getting really hyper focused on and intentional with the time that I was spending and realizing, wow, I have so much time. And as I continued, you know, to start several businesses, like I currently run 4 and starting a 5th, and I also run a nonprofit, and I have 3 kids, and yet I have free time. And the reason why I have free time is because I've been intentional with the time that I spend.
Mm-hmm. And I love this. And again, I appreciate so much of the fact that you actually said that you're getting ready to start your 5th business and you have 3 kids and you actually have a husband that you like and you enjoy spending time together with. And, you know, you run marathons and you have this thing called free time. You know, it comes down to, and I love what you talked about being intentional. And I think one of the ways that we have to be intentional is we also have to be good at blocking distractions, because you can have 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour, but if you're not focused, and that's the idea, is having focused attention. So what are some of your best strategies to manage distractions?
Put the phone away from you. First and foremost, take your phone and don't put it next to you. You can actually tell your phone, and I'm not going to say it because there is a phone in the room, but if I said, hey, SIRI, set a timer for this time, it will do so. But it's so used to me saying that. So when I say on interviews, I actually have to spell it out because I'll put my phone away from me and I'll say, set it for this amount of time. And then I'll start working on the things that I need to work on. And the distraction is out of the way. I also don't let my phone ring. So at any point in time, if I have my watch on, it will vibrate for my important people. But I don't believe in instant gratification. I believe that if something's an emergency, they'll find a way to get a hold of me. And if it's not an emergency, when I have my scheduled time to return the calls or return the text messages, I'll do it in that time. So just because someone sends me a message, that doesn't mean that they're going to get my attention right away, unless it's an emergency.
Yeah. Now, have you ever had any blowback from anyone in business that you're too regimented, you don't have time for them, and that they're concerned because you're running all of these different businesses?
Yeah, so I've had people that, will tell me that they don't want to work with me because, I won't work with them after 5 o'clock, or I won't get up early and I won't work with them in the morning, or I won't take a call because that's the time that works best for them. And I say, I appreciate that you feel that way. But I'm not that person that you're going to work with then. And that was really hard, right? Like when you're starting a business, the thing that you really want to do is you really want to get as many clients as you can. But if you're going to be happy in the things that you're doing, you have to honor yourself and your own personal boundaries. After 5 o'clock is time for my kids. I have 3 kids. One of them has different abilities. He has Tourette's and he's a lot of energy. And plus I have like a really small child. And I want to be present for my children. And when 5 o'clock hits, it's time with mom. I don't answer the phone. I very rarely take calls after 5 o'clock unless I'm at an outing. But I do that because I want to be here for my kids and I want to be here for my family. And our kids are going to grow up, and this, right? Your son's older and now in college. And as our kids get older, that time never comes back. Work is always going to be there. You're always going to have work until you decide to stop working. Work is always going to be there. The moments that we have with our family, they're going to change, and they're not going to exist the way that they do as they do now.
And I love what you say, that there's always going to be work to do. And you're absolutely right. We're always going to have more to do. So we have to be stronger about, setting the foundation. I have also found that one of the things that helps me be productive is also setting deadlines, because time will expand for the amount of time that you give it. So how do you bring deadlines into your world? And does that help you with sort of an urgency factor?
I love working under pressure. That's probably my favorite thing to do because I feel that's when I become the most creative. But usually if I have a deadline, I try to always be a week ahead of things. And I'd rather have things done ahead of time and submit things early than, working till the very end. And I find that works really, like some people, they're like, oh, I'd rather wait till the end to do it. I'd rather wait till the end to revise it and already have my work done. So I schedule in anything that has a deadline. I actually had 2 deadlines today for 2 grant proposals, and I submitted everything yesterday because I'm like, you know what, if I submit it today, if they need anything else, then I know that I can fix it, right? But if we wait till the very end, there's no room for fixing. And I just like to get things done.
I love that. I love that. So what are some tips and tricks to putting together a schedule? Do you have, suggestions like protect your morning? Do you time block for specific things? How do you quantify putting together a purposeful schedule?
So I think finding when we are the most productive at certain things and paying attention to when we're the most productive with certain things, I think that is the first place. Because for me, writing is probably the biggest thing. I can do it in the morning, like super, super early, or really, really late at night. But writing during the day, I have a really hard time with creative writing. But in the afternoon, like I can, my artistic side tends to come out and my social media side tends to come out in the afternoon. My meeting times, I'm the most on top of my game between 11 and 3 p.m. So I've realized the times that I like to meet, the times that I like to be alone and get work done. And that's how I block out my day. So in the morning, I'm really strict with my time. I make myself accessible 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And before 9 o'clock, I actually go on and I do all of my emails, and I schedule send all of them for 9:07. So anybody listening, where this is going. But everything is scheduled for 9:07 because I make myself not accessible before that time. Because if I send the email before 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, people are going to know that I'm available and then therefore think I'm ignoring them because of the time difference. So for me, I don't want to be accessible till that time because I put my kids on the bus, I have my morning coffee, and I set up my day. So I'm really intentional the way that I set my time. And I actually stopped taking meetings on Mondays and Fridays. Mondays to start my day and get everything that I need to get done for the entire week. I fill my Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday with meetings literally for 9 straight hours. And then Friday, decompress, take apart the week, figure out what I got to do for the following week. And it really helps me to get through.
I love that. And I really, appreciate what you're saying of you got to know what works best for you, because there's other people that may say they want to do things differently. But again, looking at how you show up and that you can work at your optimal level. So I think that that's really great. I know another thing that really people struggle with in this idea of leveraging their time, because they start thinking they have to do everything. Well, again, time is finite. We only have so many hours to do things. So talk to me a little bit about delegation. How do you implement delegation in what you do?
Delegation is key, right? I can't do all the things that I didn't do if I didn't have amazing people in my support staff. So all of my businesses, for the most part, with the exception of my consulting firm, is ran by somebody else. And the reason why is because I like to do all the things, but I also love to give people the opportunity to be the best at their possible ability and run, a company of their own. It's why I became a venture builder, to help other people start their businesses. And so it gives them the opportunity to really run all of these companies. So I wouldn't be able to run all of my businesses if I didn't have such amazing people working for me, like my VPs and stuff like that. They're absolutely incredible. And I always turn around, and when I tell other people, I'm like, I own all my businesses, but these are the ones who actually do all the work, and they're the ones who actually tell me what to do. And, I let them tell me what works best for them and not micromanage those businesses, and they run more successfully.
Yeah. And I love how you are bringing it back to this idea of, even though you can do everything, if you really want to achieve your goals and serve as many people possible, you cannot do it all. So again, knowing that there's nothing wrong with delegating. And I also really honor the fact that you acknowledge it as letting other people shine in their circles.
Absolutely.
And I think that that's a really important thing to do, because it takes it, you don't have to sound selfish when you're doing it. You're doing what you do best, and you're allowing others to do what they do best. So if somebody is sitting around and they're teetering on burnout right now, they are just like swirling around, all the plates are starting to fall, where is a good starting point? What is like the number one thing you would have them do to start taking control back of their days?
I really love that. I had this conversation with someone right before we did this. And I said to someone, because they were talking about balancing all the things, I said, well, instead of thinking that you're burnt out and thinking that you're doing this because it's worth the money, or you're doing this because of X, Y, and Z, how is it making you feel? So look at everything that you're doing. Look at your job, look at, where you live. I actually did a post on social media about this just recently. Look at all the things that are around you. And if they do not bring you joy, figure out a way to remove them. You should be doing things that make you happy. If we're doing things that make us happy, then we're going to be more apt to be more productive, and we're going to want to do it. So I think it's super important that, we're doing the things that make us happy and living our best life and living in that moment.
That is amazing. Well, Jen, we have covered so many things. I love the idea of, again, understanding it's about focus time. It's not just about time. Let's have short spurts of truly focused attention. The idea of time blocking and scheduling. Let's minimize those distractions as much as possible. And then ending it with, is this bringing me joy? So many great tips. And again, from an expert like yourself who has so many different things going on, I know that if it can work for you, it can work for all of us who maybe are not even doing things at that level. Now, what is the best place for people to find you if they want to reach out and get some help from you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm all over social media, and I have, the same handle actually pretty much throughout everything that I do. So it's under Jen_live your best life. You can find it on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all of the things. And the reason why it says live your best life is because it reminds me every time I look at my social media to live my best life. I'm actually changing it to live your most epic life, because I believe, in leaving that legacy and doing the things that make us ultimately happy at the end of the day. But yeah.
I love that. I love it. Well, thank you so much for sharing all of this. We have covered a ton of things when we're talking about time. Remember, time is one of our most precious commodities, so we have to learn to leverage it and protect it. We'll be right back after this little break, and we'll wrap up talking about time and how we can use it to be productive.
My name is Andrew Glisson. Over the past 4 years, I've built a portfolio of over 200 single-family rental properties that generate over $200,000 a month in income. I've put together a 6-step formula to help you consistently acquire rental properties that cash flow $250,000 or more a month and have $30,000 or more of equity built into them. This includes starting right, becoming bankable, buying right, renovating right, exit strategies, property management, and many more modules. Best of all, If you're not totally blown away by the content, we offer a 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. If you're ready to build generational wealth for you and your family, look me up at sfruniversity.com.
Hey, Lily says AT&T is giving everyone their best deals.
Minus the air quotes.
Best deals.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Told you, the best deals are for everyone here, with a choice of plans.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
At AT&T, we give everyone our best deals on every smartphone.
Are you a business owner feeling overwhelmed or burnt out with no energy left for what's most important to you? In order to effectively run your business and maximize your profits, you have got to be the best possible you that you can be. Now is the time to reclaim your energy, master your schedule, and maximize your profits so you can effectively run your business rather than it running you. It's time to become the CEO of your business and life. I'm Jen Godet, a business strategist and life coach. I work with overwhelmed business owners who feel stuck in a rut and depleted. I teach you how to stop doing the things that aren't making you money and start prioritizing the things that bring you energy, joy, and lasting impact. I'm a human performance specialist and an international best-selling author. I've helped countless people all over the world to learn the art of saying no, overcome their fear, and maximize their performance. Let's get you to live your best possible reality. Start today and become the CEO of your business and your life.
Taking a trip in the next 12 months? Airlines are under tremendous pressure and they're practically giving away their unsold seats. Like every crisis, this one will end too. But right now is the best time to take advantage of giveaway ticket prices on their unsold seats. We're not allowed to publish these low fares online. The only way to get these rock bottom giveaway prices is to call. So phone low-cost airlines now for airline ticket prices you may never see again.
Hey, are you a small business owner that's struggling to double or triple your revenue and profits? My name is Michael Rager. I'm your business guide with Teach Your Business to Fish. Our success operating system will help you double or triple your profits every 2 to 3 years while actually maintaining some semblance of a home life. Call us at 713-201-5559 and we'll help you become a real success.
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. By wearing a small device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of pricking your fingers right away. If you use insulin daily, you might be eligible to get your own continuous glucose monitor. So call the US Med Diabetic Health Hotline today and learn about the latest CGM technology. Not only can a CGM immediately reduce pain, it's accurate, easy to use, and helps you make better diabetes treatment decisions. And if you have Medicare or private insurance, you can see if you qualify for a CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost. We'll also provide free shipping of your new CGM, and we'll bill your insurance company for you. If you use insulin daily, you might be eligible to get your own continuous glucose monitor. So call the US Med Diabetic Health Hotline to see if you qualify for a CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Welcome back to Be Productive. I'm your host, Clara Capano, and this is the show where we talk about all things to have you stop being busy and start getting productive. Today, we are talking about one of my very favorite topics in the entire world, which is time. And more importantly, the importance of learning how to leverage our time so that we can do the right things and be more purposeful and productive. And I am being joined by a true expert in this field, Maureen Doss, who is the founder of Virtual Workhorse Teams. So Maureen, welcome to the stage.
Thank you, Clara. I'm super excited to be here and to talk about one of my most favorite things, leveraging time.
Yes. So, when I looked at doing this episode, I reached out to you because you run a virtual assisting company. And when we talk about leveraging time, that is one of the things that really helps us to be able to do more of the right things. So talk to me a little bit about, some strategies that you work with, to help people open up more space in their days so they can use their time to its highest and best use.
Yeah, so I learned a long time ago that small business owners start their business because we have a why, but that why is not running our business, nor do we always know how to run our business. So I come in play and I really start helping them to learn to delegate and to outsource, kind of leverage their time for not only for business growth, but for their emotional mindset as well, and take those tasks off their plate that they've been pushing off to the side, those repetitive tasks that they're doing every day, and kind of take those off their plate so that they can focus in their zone of genius and really focus on the growth of their business and doing what they love.
Yeah. And I am a huge proponent of saying that it's not necessarily important as to how much time we have. What's more important is how we use that time.
Exactly.
And are we using it? And that's what I hear you saying is creating a platform where you, as the CEO of whatever department, whatever world you're in, you're focusing on those core things to be able to take your business and your life to the next level. So you bring up this little thing here of delegating.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in theory, so many of us agree with that, but many of us hold back on it. So why do you find that most people hold back on delegating when it is so important to our growth in being able to be productive?
Yeah, I think, I see a lot as small business owners, even myself, right? I've had to learn how to delegate in my own business. And so I am totally aware of the kind of the thoughts that entrepreneurs go through when they think they need to delegate. They either actually don't know what they need to delegate or who to delegate it to. And so that's why having someone that's really proactive come on board and be like a team member with you to help you kind of evaluate the time that you're taking, what is it that you actually need to be spending time doing? And what are those tasks that you can easily delegate to someone else? They're going to help you get, to where you need to be and have the specific time that you need for business growth, or those other things that you've been trying to get to, that book you've been trying to write, whatever it is in the back of your mind that you've had on your wish list for a few years, to really get you to that point where you can focus on what you want to focus on in your business and actually be the CEO, not be working in every little detail.
Absolutely.
So handing it over to someone that understands, I think, is really important.
I agree, because we get so overwhelmed and we may not be seeing the things that an expert like yourself see.
Mm-hmm.
And again, you can help make it very clear for us as to what would be smart decisions to start the delegating. Now, I also know that one of the biggest reasons that people don't delegate is money, especially if they're starting their business. It could be challenging to find that. What I try to do is to help people change their mindset around time as an investment.
Right.
And even though you may not, quote unquote, have the money, it's also the flip side of, can you really not afford to do this? So what are some easy places, before maybe they can hire someone like you? If someone is sitting around saying, I would love to delegate, but I'm just starting out, I really don't have a lot of funds. What are some places people can start the delegation process on maybe a more minimal level to help them?
Yeah, I think on a minimal level, you want to think about, we all have those tasks that we just don't like to do, or we have just piling up, maybe pushing off to the corner of our desks, so I don't enjoy doing, and that we procrastinate about starting to outsource or delegate to someone to help us. Something that's, can seem small, like handling your email inbox or some general admin tasks, doing some spreadsheets, or maybe creating a presentation for you, or even, your calendar management. But if that's taking a lot of energy from your mind because you're literally thinking about it twice as long as it would take you to do it, then those are the types of things that I would definitely start with in the beginning.
Definitely. And I am a big proponent of the saying that, we can't do everything. We have to do the right things.
Right.
And also understanding that time spent doing one thing is time spent not doing another thing.
Mhm.
And I use a lot of these as checks and balances so that I can get myself clear on, is this something I really should be doing?
Right.
Other strategies that people have used are things like time blocking or, prioritization. What are some other strategies outside of delegating that you can encourage people to do to help them, again, use their time better?
Yeah, I think time blocking is a big thing. A lot of people, you'll either do really well with it, or you aren't, you're not that type of person. If you like to kind of check off lists and things like that, then time blocking might be for you. The other thing that I always set up, usually first with most of my clients, is some type of project management system, some kind of central hub for your business, for your projects. You're keeping up with your day-to-day tasks on there. If you do start to delegate, you can keep up with who's doing what on there. Go ahead and start keeping up with your client information and things like that. So I think having a centralized location, kind of like a business hub for all your data and communication, your calendar and all that is a really big, you're going to get a big ROI for a small time investment.
Definitely. I love doing that. Any other strategies that you encourage people to look at other than just having a big hub for those?
Yeah, I love creating automations, any type of repetitive task that we can automate. I love to do that. So a lot of times people are worried that it's not going to have a personalized touch, but when you really, sometimes you can even have more of a personalized touch when you automate some things, because you can really get some information about your clients. But setting up some automations, for those emails that you're constantly sending out and things like that, making sure that your calendar is reminding people so you don't have to constantly be sending out emails over and over again. So getting some of those types of repetitive tasks on automation is key, I believe.
Definitely. So I love those 3 tips. We've got the time blocking, we've got creating sort of a main hub where all your information is,
Mhm.
and then doing the automation. Those are 3 things that somebody can set up. If they can't yet afford to bring somebody on, those are things that they can do. And I know one of the things that really helped me is automation.
Mhm.
Even things such as my social media posts. Oftentimes
Mhm.
what I do is I write them all early in the week and then I automate it. So I
Right.
don't have to think about what do I need to post on Thursday. It's already in the queue. And I can spend 30 to 45 minutes putting all of that together
Right.
before the week starts. And it then ends up saving me because, again, even if it saves me 5 extra minutes on
Exactly.
Thursday, that 5 minutes I can reinvest. That could be one more phone call. That could be a follow-up, something else that I can do to,
Right.
again, move my business forward.
Definitely.
So one of the things that you brought up before is this idea of, again, making time to focus on the things that you need to be doing.
Right.
What are some questions maybe that we can ask ourselves? Because maybe I don't even know what I should be doing. So before I can even get to delegating, I've got to identify, what do I need to do so I can, again, leverage my time around those. So any specific questions that maybe somebody can ask themselves?
Right. I think, it depends a lot on what industry you're in, what your why was for starting your business. A lot of my clients are mompreneurs. So when I talk to them, it's going to be, things like, what would you rather be doing besides sitting there sending these repetitive emails? You know, a lot of times that's they need to go to soccer practice, or they need to have dinner without being on their phone, or even take a vacation without their laptop, you know. So thinking about where you really want to be spending your time, if it's in your business, where are you at in your business? You know, we go through like a big evaluation kind of, you know, where are you at? What are your goals? What are your long-term goals? And then we kind of plan from there. Are you, you know, trying to scale your business for business growth? And let's look at what you need to be doing. So I think, you know, looking at your goals is going to be a big part of that question. And then planning from there, saying, okay, where am I most useful? Kind of having like an organization chart for your business. You know, maybe in the beginning, your name is under every detail of that organization chart, but eventually what's that going to look like when you are working as the CEO, and what do you need to do to get to that level?
I love that. Now, I also know that when it comes to time, one of the things that zaps our time and zaps our focus more than anything else are these little word distractions. In, you know, a minute and a minute and a half, do you have any strategies to help people manage distractions?
So distractions come in a lot of forms. So I think one thing that, you know, I work a lot on is having boundaries and expectations. And that's not just, you know, within yourself, your business, your clients, your employees, or your contractors. That's with your family, your husband, your kids, your significant other. I think boundaries are huge, and setting those expectations for them, I think can kind of lessen the interruptions and things that happen, and just having a plan, you know, because of course life happens, right? And so giving yourself grace. And I think the key is to work with the people that understand your values. And so when you do that, and those type of distractions come up that may interfere with your clients, then they'll understand.
Definitely. And I love the fact that you brought up the idea of communicating expectations. One of my very favorite quotes is, whoever controls your time will control your business and your life. And people don't know unless we share with them. So I think going back to, again, what is your vision? Being honest about the time that you have, remembering there's no right or wrong, but knowing that, and then communicating that not just to your clients, but also to the people around you, your inner circle, so that everybody is working in the same direction and going by the same guidelines.
Yes, I love that. It's a must.
Well, good. Well, Maureen, thank you so much for being here and sharing some of your wisdom. You know, I know that as people are watching this, there are people out there that need your help. So where is the best place for people to find you if they want to learn more about leveraging their time and bringing on some assistance to do that?
Yeah, so you can find me at Maureen Doss on LinkedIn, or at thevirtualworkforceteam.com.
Beautiful. All right, everyone. Well, you heard it from one of the experts. Remember, leveraging our time. We all are given the same amount of time. So it's in how we show up and use that time that is really going to be the determining factor between, are we being busy or are we being productive? So stay tuned, and we'll be right back with more tips and tricks to being productive.
The best bilingual news, business talk, and technology content 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You are watching Now Media Television, the first bilingual media network in the United States.
Tax audits, tax liens, wage garnishments.
Every day we hear stories like this about good folks who are simply struggling to pay their bills. Each of them are living a frightening IRS tax nightmare, and they are afraid it will destroy their lives. If you're struggling with your own tax nightmare, we've got great news. The Tax Relief Line is here to help you. Now, you have a knowledgeable, professional team of tax experts that are ready to negotiate with the IRS and fight for you to save you money. The Tax Relief Line's professionals have successfully negotiated thousands of cases, reducing and sometimes even eliminating the tax debt for their clients. It's very easy to get started. Simply call the number on your screen right now. You don't have to live in fear anymore. The call and the consultation are free.
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. By wearing a small device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of pricking your fingers right away. If you use insulin daily, you might be eligible to get your own continuous glucose monitor. So call the US Med Diabetic Health Hotline today and learn about the latest CGM technology. Not only can a CGM immediately reduce pain, it's accurate, easy to use, and helps you make better diabetes treatment decisions. And if you have Medicare or private insurance, you can see if you qualify for a CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost. We'll also provide free shipping of your new CGM, and we'll bill your insurance company for you. If you use insulin daily, you might be eligible to get your own continuous glucose monitor. So call the US Med Diabetic Health Hotline to see if you qualify for a CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
En vivo desde Houston, la ciudad espacial.